the spark of defiance. Blaster fire erupted in Tipoca City's sterile corridors, shattering the rain-soaked silence of Kamino. Commander Wolffe, his armor scarred from a dozen campaigns, crouched behind a Durasteel crate as clone troopers, his brothers, advanced with weapons raised. "Ceasefire!" he roared, but the 104th Battalion's eyes were blank, their inhibitor chips enforcing Palpatine's will. Wolffe's comlink crackled with a desperate transmission from a rogue Kaminoan scientist, Nala Se. "The Chancellor's orders are a lie," she whispered. "The chips control them." Wolffe's heart pounded. He'd overheard Palpatine's plan to betray the Jedi days ago. Now, Order 66 loomed. He fired a stun bolt, dropping a trooper, and sprinted toward the central labs. Rain lashed his visor as he dodged automated turrets, their red beams slicing through the storm. Nala Se met him in the lab, her long fingers clutching a neural disruptor. "This can disable the chips," she said, her voice trembling. Wolffe grabbed the device, its weight heavy with hope. He activated his comlink, broadcasting to his loyal squad. "Brothers, we're more than programming. Fight it!" A tremor in the Force, unfamiliar yet urgent, pulsed through him. The Empire was coming. Vader's ship was already in orbit. Wolffe rallied his men, their blasters turning on the chip-controlled clones. The lab doors exploded inward, and a squad of shock troopers stormed in, led by a cold-eyed captain. Wolffe ignited a thermal detonator, the blast sealing the entrance in a shower of sparks. "We take the city," he growled, "or we die free." The rebellion had begun, and Kamino's waves roared, as if the planet itself sensed the coming war. Siege of the Spires. Tipoca City's spires gleamed under Kamino's endless storm. But inside, chaos reigned. Wolffe led his squad of freed clones, 30 strong, through maintenance tunnels, their boots splashing in shallow water. Nala Se's neural disruptor hummed in his pack, its range limited, but their only hope to free more brothers. "Perimeters locked," reported Sinker, his helmet's blue stripes catching the dim light. "Vader's 501st is landing." Wolffe's jaw tightened. Anakin's old legion, now Palpatine's fist. He accessed a tactical holo, revealing Imperial gunships circling the city's upper platforms. "We hit the control hub," Wolffe said. "Disable their comms. We slow Vader down." The squad moved, silent as specters, through corridors lined with cloning vats. Memories of training here, of brotherhood, clawed at Wolffe's mind. How many clones still served the Sith's lie? They reached the hub, a circular chamber pulsing with consoles. Boost, his heavy gunner, planted charges on the comm relays. A tremor shook the floor, gunships deploying walkers. Wolffe activated the disruptor, its pulse sweeping through nearby clones. Their weapons lowered, confusion replacing blank obedience. "You're free," Wolffe urged. "Join us." Most nodded, but one sergeant lunged, chip still active, tackling Wolffe. Sinker stunned him, but alarms blared. Imperial reinforcements breached the outer ring, their boots thundering. Wolffe's squad fought back, blaster bolts illuminating the chamber in red flashes. A freed clone, Comet, hacked the hub's defenses, sealing blast doors. "We've got minutes," he warned. Wolffe's comlink buzzed. "Nala Se, from the labs. I've modified the disruptor for wider range, but it needs a power core." Wolffe glanced at the reactor below, its blue glow tempting but guarded. Vader's presence loomed closer, a shadow in the Force. "We move now," Wolffe ordered, leading his men toward the reactor. Blaster fire echoed behind them, and the storm outside roared louder, as if Kamino itself resisted the Empire's grip. The rebellion hung by a thread, and Wolffe knew one misstep could end it all. Shadows in the storm rain lashed the reactor platform, a cavernous dome where Kamino's power core pulsed like a star. Wolffe's squad crept along catwalks, the neural disruptor's upgraded core humming dangerously in his hands. Below, Imperial clones patrolled, their white armor stark against the blue glow. "Vader's close," whispered Boost, scanning the shadows. Wolffe felt it too, a cold weight in the Force, like a predator circling. He signaled for silence, directing Comet to the core's access panel. The plan was simple. Plug in the disruptor, free every clone in Tipoca City. But simplicity was a lie. A red lightsaber ignited across the platform, Darth Vader emerging from the mist. His black armor gleamed, his breathing a mechanical rasp. "Commander Wolffe," Vader's voice boomed. "Your defiance ends here." Wolffe fired, his blaster bolts deflected by Vader's blade. The squad scattered, laying down cover fire. Cinca lobbed a droid popper, its EMP pulse sparking across Vader's armor, but he advanced undeterred. Wolffe sprinted for the core, dodging Force-choked debris. Comet reached the panel, fingers flying over controls. "It's charging!" he shouted. Vader hurled a catwalk section, crushing 2 clones. Wolffe's heart sank, but he roared, "Hold the line!" He stunned an Imperial trooper, freeing another brother with the disruptor's pulse. The device glowed brighter, nearly ready. Vader's blade slashed toward Wolffe, who rolled away, his armor scorched. "You cannot stop the Empire," Vader said, raising his hand. Wolffe felt his throat tighten, but Cinca tackled Vader, breaking his focus. The disruptor hummed, its pulse surging through the city. Clones froze, then turned on their Imperial officers, chaos erupting. Vader snarled, retreating into the storm as freed clones rallied. Wolffe clutched the disruptor, its heat burning his gloves. Tipoca City was theirs, for now. But Vader's shadow lingered, promising retribution. The cost of freedom. Tipoca City's control hub flickered with static. The disruptor's pulse, having freed hundreds of clones. Wolffe stood among them, their eyes clear but haunted. The storm outside raged, mirroring the turmoil within. "We've got the city," Cinca reported, "but Imperial reinforcements are massing." Wolffe studied the tactical holo. 3 Star destroyers loomed in orbit. Nala Se entered, her expression grim. "The disruptor's core is unstable," she said. "One more pulse could burn it out, or worse." Wolffe's mechanical eye whirred, calculating. They needed to broadcast the disruptor's signal galaxy-wide, freeing all clones, but the risk could destroy Kamino. He turned to his brothers. "This is our stand, for the Republic we fought for." Nods rippled through the room. Comet rigged the hub's transmitter, linking it to the disruptor. Blaster fire echoed from the outer spires, Vader's forces counter-attacking. Wolffe led a defense team to the landing pads, where rain-slicked clones clashed with Imperials. A gunship exploded, debris scattering. Wolffe spotted Vader's silhouette, directing troops with lethal precision. "Focus on the transmitter," Wolffe ordered, deflecting bolts. The hub glowed as the disruptor powered up, its hum deafening. Cinca fell, a blaster bolt piercing his chest. Wolffe's rage surged, but he held position, protecting Comet. The signal was their only hope. As Imperial walkers advanced, the disruptor's core sparked, threatening to overload. Wolffe made a choice. "Send it now," he shouted. Comet hesitated, then activated the broadcast. A pulse rippled across Kamino, and Wolffe's comlink flooded with reports. Clones on Coruscant, Kashyyyk, turning against the Empire. But the core exploded, rocking the hub. Wolffe shielded Nala Se as flames erupted, knowing the cost of their defiance had just begun. The last stand. Smoke choked Tipoca City's central spire as Wolffe dragged Nala Se from the burning hub. The disruptor's final pulse had freed thousands of clones across the galaxy. But the core's explosion left Kamino vulnerable. Imperial Star destroyers rained turbo-laser fire, shaking the city's foundations. Wolffe's surviving squad, now 50 strong, bolstered by freed clones, fortified the main platform. "Vader's coming," Comet warned, his voice steady, despite blood streaking his armor. Wolffe nodded, gripping his blaster. The rebellion's success hinged on holding Kamino long enough for their signal to spread. Across the galaxy, clones were defecting, inspired by Kamino's stand. But here, the fight was far from won. Vader's forces breached the outer defenses, ATTE walkers crushing walkways. Wolffe's comlink buzzed with a faint transmission from Rex on Coruscant. "We're free, Wolffe," rallying others. "Hold on." Wolffe's chest tightened. Hope, but no time to savor it. He directed his men to choke points, using Kamino's narrow corridors to their advantage. Blaster bolts lit the rain-soaked air, clones fighting clones in a brutal mirror. Vader emerged, his red blade carving through defenders. Wolffe faced him, stun grenades useless against the Sith's power. "You betray your purpose," Vader rasped, force pushing Wolffe against a pillar. Pain seared his ribs, but he fired back, grazing Vader's cape. Nala Se, hidden nearby, tossed Wolffe a vibro blade. He parried Vader's strike, buying time. The platform trembled as a Star Destroyer descended, its shadow swallowing the city. "Evacuate!" Wolffe shouted. Comet led survivors to submersible transports, Nala Se guiding them to hidden docks. Wolffe held the line, his blade sparking against Vader's. "This isn't over," Wolffe growled, dodging a lethal slash. He detonated charges, collapsing the platform, and dove into the sea. Transports vanished beneath Kamino's waves, carrying the rebellion's spark. Vader watched from the ruins, his rage palpable. Wolffe surfaced miles away, rain masking his escape. The galaxy stirred, clones rising, Jedi alerted. Kamino was lost, but Wolffe's defiance had ignited a fire Palpatine couldn't extinguish. "For our brothers," he whispered, vowing to fight on.